Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got another mock draft video to help you guys with your redraft season. With August being here, this is really the time to be either drafting, which hopefully is later this month, or of course doing a lot of mock drafts to get you guys ready. If you guys already know your position, you have questions, hit us up in the comments down below, ask away. We'll give you some recommendations of who you should be grabbing in those picks. We are going to be doing the 109. This is always going to be based off of full PPR and half PPR. So let's jump right into this. All right, as you can see here, we are at the 109 spot. If you guys have watched any of these other videos, a lot of what you're going to see is typically the top tier wide receivers going pretty early right here. And then, of course, you're going to see maybe a CMC, Eckler, or Travis Kelce being brought in there. So I'm curious to see what we're going to get at the 109. Not a bad spot at all because I still think you get a really top tier wide receiver, maybe a running back, but then on the swing, you get an even better player where a lot of times these early picks, you're really waiting for it. So kind of surprised to see Christian McCaffrey here super early. He has been typically the 102. Jefferson's been almost the 101 in almost every mock draft I've been in, and I've done probably a couple hundred. I know it's crazy, but I wanted to make sure I get through these to give you guys the best type of advice. Now, looking at the 101, kind of surprised Barkley's here. I've seen him usually fall typically a little bit later. So that leaves me with a player like Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown. Like, there's some really good options. So at the 109, if Tyreek is here, I'm absolutely grabbing him. Most likely, you're going to see Hill probably fall earlier, and you'll probably see a player like CeeDee Lamb there. And I don't think CeeDee Lamb at the 109 is a bad spot at all. So with the swing around, you obviously see Diggs, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, pretty clear, pretty common. So looking at this, I could get Amon-Ra, who's another really top tier wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, or if I want to shake things up, I can get a good running back, which I'm going to do here. I'm going to grab Derrick Henry with the expectation that this offense hopefully does allow with DeAndre Hopkins, Burks, to have a little bit less defense focused on Henry. Maybe he'll have a really good season. He's been a beast anyways. That offensive line does need to improve. So with Derrick Henry, I wouldn't mind if you even miss that and go after a top tier receiver, because Henry isn't the known PPR back. He did see some more increase in receptions last season, which was fantastic. And if he can continue that, that only helps his case. So now looking at this, I can either go Harris, Travis Etienne, maybe Joe Burrow, or even Gibbs. Looking at these particular spots, I'm actually not going to go after Burrow, even though I like him. There is still obviously the injury. He is expected to be back week 1. We'll see how this goes. There was some weird, I guess Jamar Chase said possibly if he has to hold out a few weeks to get healthy for the rest of the season. I don't know if that's going to happen. So I'm going to go Travis Etienne right here. I like Najee Harris as well. There's nothing wrong with going that way. I'm going to go Travis Etienne because the potential of PPR capability is what makes him just slightly an increase. But again, I am also a big believer in Najee Harris. So if you went Najee Harris there, I would not be upset with that pick at all. So with the swing around, Joe Burrow is gone. Obviously, wouldn't be surprised. Now, had he fallen there, maybe. Kamara, surprisingly with the mock draft, obviously this is a mock draft, so it's not updated on the trends. With Kamara being out for 3 games, that obviously is going to lower his ADP. Kenneth Walker is lowered in his ADP because of his injury. I'm not going to necessarily go Kenneth Walker. I'm going to actually grab a really good receiver, and I'm going Calvin Ridley. I'm not going Deebo Samuel. I'm kind of out of Deebo Samuel based off of his ADP. But Calvin Ridley here, he looks really good in camp. I know he's been removed for over a year playing football. That does play a factor, but he looks in great shape. He's got to build a little bit of a rapport with Trevor Lawrence because obviously Christian Kirk really has that. But I still like Ridley there. Now, looking at my team, I feel really good about my receivers. My running backs aren't too bad. I think Derrick Henry can still be a top 10 back, even top 5. Travis Etienne can either absolutely bust it for me or be a top 10 back, so I'll take that risk there. So now I got to fill out. I can either go quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, stack him with Calvin Ridley, which is in Etienne, which is not a bad thing. I'm hoping I can get him on the swing because I still think you can get him in the 6th or 7th round, depending on how your league mates draft. I'm actually going to go and grab Drake London here, because I think even though this offense is not expected to be a high passing offense, so again, I'm not looking for the Falcons to go crazy, but I still like Drake London. I like what he was able to do. He's got a good, obviously, tight end in Kyle Pitts, who does take a lot of those targets away, which allows Drake London to actually be successful. They're going to run the ball like crazy with Bijan and even Algier. So hopefully that allows Drake London to go off the top, get some big plays. So like I mentioned, Trevor Lawrence possibly is going to fall in the 6th or 7th round. I'm actually going to go grab Trevor Lawrence to have a pairing. I love to stack him with Calvin Ridley and Travis Etienne in this case. So I actually like this particular setup with having my quarterback being that guy. And Trevor Lawrence is a top 5 fantasy quarterback. I don't care what you say. He looked really good. He's really, another year in this Doug Peterson offense who really does a great job of making sure the quarterback is in the best position to be successful. So I absolutely love that. Now, you got to fill out depth. I could go tight end, grab an Evan Ingram. I think it's a little too much for a Jacksonville team, but I do like their offense. I actually like grabbing Javonte Williams in this particular spot. He's tend to be falling. Now, with the news of obviously Javonte Williams having the expectation should be back week 1, he's looking really good. Javonte Williams' ADP might start to go up. If he still falls in this particular spot, I think Javonte in the 7th, 8th, 9th round is an absolute steal, and you should be grabbing him because he has the potential to be a really good running back. So grab him there. Now you see the tight end starting to go, Fairmouth and Njoku. So it is going to be a time where you're going to have to grab a tight end. I'm going to try to hold off on Evan Ingram because if I look at the rest of my tight ends, I still like Cole Kmet, Dalton Kincaid, even though rookie tight ends don't tend to do very well. But I think I can kind of risk it, let Evan Ingram go, and see what happens there. For me, I've got 3 really good running backs. I got 3 good receivers. Now I got to fill out this team with the best possible players in their spots. So I don't necessarily am going to focus on bye weeks, and I'm not necessarily going to focus on position. I want to see who can get me the most points based off of what is available. So for me, I'm actually going to go James Cook. I think he's in a really good offense. He's not looked at the top back. They're looking at, Damian Harris being the running back that could potentially steal and get a lot of goal line looks. But I still think James Cook is going to be a very, reliable running back who can be a good flex play. He's going to get a lot of passes his way if Josh Allen decides to throw to the running back. But out of what I saw there, I think he was the perfect spot. So in here, I can go Zay Flowers, who I really like. I think he's in a good position in a pretty good offense. And obviously Lamar Jackson is potentially going to be, that's one of his favorite, targets. So again, this is on all hopes based off of what he was able to do so far in camp. I could go Juju with Mac Jones. I'm not crazy about it, even though I do think their offense does get a little bit better. I could also get Perrine and pair him with Javonte Williams. Even though Javonte Williams is not my starting back, that isn't a bad thing there. I'm actually going to go Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers with Lamar Jackson, opposite of Odell and Bateman and Mark Andrews. I think he's going to benefit a lot from this. I'm hoping they play him in the slot. We'll see how he looks, but I will grab that one. So I like A-Chain. There is some injury, so you got to be aware of that. I love Elijah Moore here. Jameson Williams, obviously you're going to be playing him based off the later part of the season. I'm not going to go after him. No, if this was Dynasty, we're going after him. And then, of course, I can go tight end. I'm actually going to grab my tight end here and get Cole Kmet. I like Cole Kmet a lot. He looked really good last season. He had a really good rapport with Justin Fields. And the addition of having, a healthy Mooney, a more improved offensive line, and then, of course, having DJ Moore there, I think only opens up things for Cole Kmet. So I actually like that spot. Now I got to fill out 3 more spots and then my kicker. Looking what's best available, you've got Sky Moore, Tyler Algier, maybe even a Tyler Boyd, maybe a backup quarterback. I'm actually going to go and grab a Tyler Boyd here. I like Tyler Boyd a lot. I could have gotten, like I said, Tyler Algier, but I like Tyler Boyd. I think he is, again, in a really successful situation in the Cincinnati offense. Even as a third receiver, he has games where he just absolutely blows it up. So I like him there. And then on the swing around, obviously you saw Russell Wilson go, because if he had fallen in that spot, I would have grabbed him. I am going to grab another quarterback. I'm not going to grab him right now. I'm actually going to go and grab Tank Bigsby here, because I think Bigsby being as a nice little handcuff to Etienne is going to be a great option. And again, I do worry a little bit with Etienne because he was not very successful. He had a hard time getting into the end zone when they were using him as a goal line back. And I think Bigsby might be the back who takes advantage of it. And so, again, I'll grab him. I'll handcuff him. He may end up being a really good running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but it's more so the handcuff at this particular point. I'm actually going to draft a backup quarterback, and I'm going to go and get Derek Carr. I love Derek Carr in this particular position, especially this late. He's going to be a great bye week filler. maybe certain matchups he might look really good. And being in the Saints offense, I actually really like a lot. I know a lot of people kind of wrote him off, but he's still a fantastic quarterback, and I'm absolutely going to grab him. And then kicker again, McManus. You can't go wrong with either Moody or, even, Jason Sanders in that Dolphins offense, but I'm going with McManus. Match up that Jaguars theme I've got going on in this draft and get him in there. So that is the mock draft for the 109. If you guys have any questions, again, about your particular spots, or if you guys thought this draft strategy was just boom, you don't want to do it, you want to go different players, let me know in the comments. If you guys thought this was a pretty good draft strategy, again, going wide receiver, going balanced with the running back, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are doing out there in your mock drafts or potential real drafts. If you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys do hit the notification bell, because we're going to be dropping content like this, Dynasty content, and then, of course, our start and sit and waiver videos throughout the whole season to get you guys ready for this upcoming season, whether it be Dynasty or redraft. Also, make sure you hit that like button. Again, subscribe, like, and I'll check you guys out next time.